Welcome to the demonstration of my motel registration system project. In this video, I will walk you through how my system meets each of the success criteria that I outlined for what the initial version of my system would look like. First, let's demonstrate the system security for my success criteria. We'll evaluate this through the check-in process. So once we click check-in, right off the bat, it prompts the user for employee username as well as employee password. It will assess the user input against preset or predefined valid employee credentials stored in these arrays. So if we put a random sequence of letters, for example, it will say that they're invalid employee credentials. Only when we put valid credentials or login information will it confirm that login was successful. Now, let's evaluate the next part of the criteria, which is the system allows guests to input essential information that is relevant to booking. And so we will create a fake booking or reservation for a person named Dan. We will enter their information like phone number, their email, their bed type, which will be double, their check-in date, as well as their checkout date. Now, we will put in the credit and their billing information. And so it confirms that booking was successful. It tells them the total cost, the random generated payment ID, and the duration of stay, which is 3 days, calculated using a date-time formatter. We press OK, and it tells you that the booking ID is 1, which is a unique identifier for each booking made, and we will use it during the checkout process. Now, let's evaluate the room availability or inventory check for staff. If we click Available Rooms, we can see the inventory of the motel registration system. Here we can see that the double is now set to false, which is room 106. And if we go to the customer file, we can confirm that Dan is currently occupying room 106. Now, let's evaluate real-time updates to room inventory. We will evaluate this through the checkout function. Now again, if we click checkout, it will ask for a login, and once we provide the necessary login information, we put in the booking ID here, and here we can see that Dan's booking ID is 1, and so if we confirm, it says check-in is successful, or checkout, sorry. And just to confirm, his room was 106, so we go to room 106, and we can see that it is now set to true, which means it is now once again available for booking. Now let's evaluate another case. When I make multiple reservations and check out specific people, and in order to achieve this, I will first make multiple different reservations. Okay, now we can see that we have 2 reservations currently made, one for Fred and one for a beer. It provides all the necessary guest information and tells you which room they occupy, as well as their booking IDs. Now we can also check the availability status through the View Available Rooms option. We can see that the single room 101 is set to false because it is booked, as well as room 111, which is also set to false because it is booked. And now, if we want to check out a particular person, let's say that we want to check out Fred. And so we will go ahead and select the checkout option and input the valid login. And now let's put our booking ID, which is 3. It says that checkout was successful. And Fred's room was 111, so if we check room 111, it says set to true, which is good. Now, let's try another case. What if we want to check out a room that is not occupied, meaning that the booking does not exist? So here, I've gone ahead and cleared all the reservations, so all the availability is set to true. And now, if we try to check out a room that is not already booked, let's enter our booking ID 4. It returns invalid booking ID because currently all the rooms in the system are available. This is good. The system maintains integrity. Now let's evaluate the fourth and final aspect of the success criteria, which is that it creates a user-friendly interface for staff and guests. So here we can see that it is a relatively simple and straightforward application. It only has the 4 buttons leading to the 4 corresponding processes. So check-in, and tells you what is selected, and checkout, all of them are functional. View available rooms, And of course, lastly, the exit application. And if you confirm that you want to exit the application, it will close the application. And now, in terms of possible extensions or future updates I want to make to the program, I would firstly ensure that the customer file gets updated according to booking cancellations. So when a reservation is canceled, the booking information and customer information is removed from the customer text file. As well, I want to incorporate a customer feedback feature, which would allow customers to give feedback on their experience, complaints, or their overall satisfaction. As well, I want to update the program so that it only accepts valid payment. These are just a few ways to upgrade the hotel registration system. And so that concludes my presentation on how my algorithm meets my initial success criteria.